What up, y'all? I hope y'all can hear me. I don't know if you can or not. Anyway, thought I'd go live, say what's up, chill out. Got a screen on here somewhere. I don't do this very much, so I don't really know what I'm doing. Hope y'all are having an awesome day. I can't even tell if you're in there, so if you pop in the chat, say what's up. Let me go with live chat. There we go. Now I can sort of see. Hope y'all are having a fine Saturday morning. It's still morning for most places, I think. Yeah. We got some shows coming up. Got one in Gainesville, Florida on the 6th of June. That happens to be some good folks' birthdays, I know. That was also my mama's birthday, too. Thought I got to sit here and roll, so I figured I'd come on here and holler at y'all. We'll see who shows up. May not nobody show up. You never know. Y'all gonna let an old man talk to himself. That's all right. I do it anyway, so it don't really matter. I talk to myself all the time. I'll just chill out until somebody shows up. I'll keep looking. I guess I'll talk because sometimes people want to run this stuff back. Checkity check. I won't really be able to check it till somebody gets in the chat. I don't even think I have moderators. That's how little I do this. I'd probably do better if I went on some other platform. I don't know. YouTube's got some cool people on it, so maybe that'll be it. We'll see who shows up. Right now, ain't nobody showed up. I'm so lonesome that I could cry. I guess that's how it goes. Shit, I can't remember. Could cry, could die. I don't know. Cry, die, fly, whatever. Well, I'm gonna roll plenty of them and see what happens. 3 minutes in and ain't nobody showed up yet. It's kind of like having a yard sale. Somebody shows up, and then when they do, they all show up. Somebody scroll through there. Oh, Ole Skeet's live. He don't ever go live. That's different. Probably a reason for it, too. Oh, Maffi's working on a lot of cool stuff. Can't really tell you about it because, well, you know how it is. All this top secret information in the music business. It ain't really top secret. Just don't nobody want to talk about it because they're afraid they'll jinx it, I guess, or, you know. If y'all only knew how many projects is worked on and never released, which is a good thing because you don't want to release everything necessarily because there's a bunch of junk in there to go with all the good stuff y'all hear. So I guess that's the way it bounces, you know. Man, there must be something going on somewhere. Y'all probably still sleeping in. That's probably what it is. The early bird gets the worm, baby. That's what I'm talking about. I think I may have to do this more often. Eventually, people will start hanging out and stuff like that, I reckon. Everybody's got their clicks and stuff. Get me a click. What are we gonna call it? I don't know. It's kind of hard to have a click with Skeet in the name, ain't it? Implies lots of other things. Dang. They said if you build it, they will come. Where y'all at? You ain't gonna hang out with me today? All right. I reckon that's fine with me. I'm just sitting here talking to myself. I'm gonna stay in here till at least one person shows up. I'm assuming somebody will show up, right? Those are going live. Been live for 6 minutes. Well, ain't that something? Well, this old grainy camera, man, came over on the Mayflower, I think. For anybody who really don't know history, that's they didn't have cameras on the Mayflower, but whatever. Believe it or not, there's somebody that would probably believe they did. Probably thinks they're in black and white, I'm so old, my childhood was in black and white. Can you believe that? Mm-hmm. 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 I might start doing this more often. What do y'all think? Is somebody in the chat? If you're in the chat, let me know. It's supposed to show up on this thing, but I guess it don't. Well, there's one person here. Hello, person. How are you doing? I don't know who you are because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm sitting here rolling. That's what I'm doing. Hanging out. It's almost, well, there they go. See, they showed up. Gave me a thumbs up and left. Well, damn. I'm just like an old man sitting on a park bench. I guess ain't nothing excited about seeing somebody sit here roll, right? We can talk about stuff now. We can talk about stuff. I know all kind of stuff. Some of it's true. I know Mafia Monday, we got Brandon Hart. He's a cool dude. I talked to him the other day. Me and Shaden Adams was on the phone with him, talked to him. He's a cool dude, bro. Cool dude. Can't wait for y'all to meet him if y'all hadn't met him already. And the week after that, we got Stormy Lee. I've been looking forward to talking to her. She's pretty cool too. She's been haunting this genre for a minute. And, a lot of folks know her. She's well respected. I'd be damn proud to meet her. See what she's up to. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I don't even know if the stream's good. It may not be. I don't know. Somebody showed up and gave me a thumbs up. I wonder who it was. A mystery guest. Maybe I got a stalker. That's probably what it is. That'd be cool. That'd be hilarious too, actually. He'll be stalking me and find out, I probably ought not stalk him. He's kind of crazy. I don't think I know any musician that ain't crazy. At least a little bit, you know what I mean? There's always some kind of condition or syndrome they got. Put all them letters in there, What are you? I don't know. I'm ABCD this month, whatever that means. You OCD, ADD, ADHD. I don't know. I'm Ole Skeet MC. Hey, there's somebody in there. What's going on? You just, well, came and left. Damn. Oh well. I guess I got an interesting face. Enough to say, what's going on over there? I guess there wasn't anybody in here. You know, it's funny how that works. If you got a few people in there chatting and stuff, people hang out. But if just some old man talking, they're like, I don't want to hang out with an old man. That's kind of weird. You know, that's the way it is. That's cool. Anybody don't know how to do this, I'll teach you. I don't think YouTube would appreciate it though, so I probably ought not to. Instructional video. How to roll. I ain't gonna say roll what either. I'll let your imagination take place. I had what, 2 views so far? Oh my goodness. I'm gonna be famous. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Dang, wish somebody get in here and talk. Sure would make it easier. Like, what's going on, baby? I might even start telling you my life story. I don't know if that'd be, I mean, that's, I don't know, pretty wild. I have to give you the PG-13 version of it, though. Part of it's pretty rough. Part of it's hilarious, and part of it's pretty boring, I guess. I guess that's true for everybody. You know, we got the boring spots in our lives. Those are actually kind of good, though. Where my people at? Come on, people. I guess I could have shared it out. That'd been smart. I just wanted to see who would show up just from going live. 12 minutes in, and I've had a couple people pop in. They go, and somebody liked it, which, hey, that's cool. I have no idea who it was. You know, tell them. Maybe some alphabet agency's monitoring me. Oh, there he is. He's all right. We ain't got to worry about him today. Hey, somebody, what's up, brother, sister? I don't know. I don't know who you are. Unless you're talking in chat. Good to see you. I'm sitting here rolling. Just an old man trying to not talk to himself, you know. Talk about music and rolling and all kinds of things. Oh, lost that one. All right. Catch you on the next round. Like, nope, old man ain't fooling him. Bye. See you. We want to be you. Oh. I guess I ought to plan it ahead and, you know, see who shows up for that, but that's all right. It don't matter. Again, I'm just testing the waters here. Got to test this camera out a little bit. I mean, the camera's kind of, it ain't very great, but it's all right, I reckon. You know, y'all don't really need to see all of this anyway. You know. Mm-hmm. We're looking forward to our time with OBG Records. What's up? Yeah, the Mafia just signed with them. Kind of look forward to it. You know what I'm saying? Can't wait to work with all the other artists. We worked with some already. Of course, we've got a show coming up in Gainesville on the 6th. Oh, there goes another one. People popped in and stuff. That's kind of cool. Like, I don't want to hear about all that, bro. Well, that's all right. You ain't got to. Man, I need to scratch my back. Maybe I ought to get some views. Oh. And yes, I use a plastic knife to do it. Very convenient, as long as it ain't too sharp. But anyway, we getting a roll on. Got to get a roll on. Probably ought to sit at a desk and do a podcast. That would be better. I don't even know what the audio. Need somebody to come in here and help me out with audio, make sure it sounds all right. Because I could use my professional stuff if I wanted to. I guess I could leave this here, make it look like I know what I'm doing. You know, that would be kind of cool. You can see all the dust on it. I'll dust the daggum thing once in a while. That'd be good. Oh well. It's just another thing in the way, I reckon. Oh man, nobody want to get in the chat and say nothing. Okay. I guess the first person in the chat, I will probably I'll do something special for them. I'll share a post on Facebook or something from what they posted. How about that? I could try this on another platform, I suppose, but I really like YouTube. It's been probably the nicest to me than all the others. Have way more on, I guess, Facebook than I do any of the other ones. But this one's been good to me, I think. So I could turn on some music, but I don't want to fool with all that stuff right now. Again, I'm just testing the waters for anybody that's just popping in. Testing the waters and seeing what's up. Man, my back is itching. I must have something up in my shirt. Well, I guess I'll give it another, I don't know, 3 or 4 minutes to see what happens. If anybody pops in, that'd be great. If you pop in, that's fine. If you want to talk, we can do that. I guess I'm just not that interested. Okay. Maybe I need to get some chicks up in here. That'll draw a crowd. Of course, people like drama and stuff. I'm fitting to tell y'all some secrets. No, I ain't gonna do that. I ain't no snitch, baby. It ain't like that around here. Now, I got people that will watch this probably on YouTube TV, and they're watching on their actual TV. So they don't get in the chat, I don't think, usually. But anyway, stream that up, I suppose. I don't know who all is streaming it. I don't know how they count lives. Anybody know? Just talking to myself. No. Just talking to myself. Na 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 na. I wonder if I turn my hat around backwards, would that be different? Yeah. Now you can see my ugly face. What's up? I'll get that in there. So far, so good. Not quite there yet. I could go a whole half an hour, I reckon. Just see what that looks like. Maybe evaluate it. Count that. I'm disappointed ain't nobody talking in the chat, though. I wish I'd do that. Just so I can kind of get a rough idea who's popping in. Talk about the weather, talk about your car, talk about whatever. I don't care. I can talk about a little bit of everything. I don't get into politics too much. That's too dangerous. Politics and religion. That's a good way to divide the room every single time. Oh, my goodness. I got the itchies, man. I think something's up in this shirt. Oh well. Oh mercy. Faux BG Records. Swamp Music Mafia. Where my boys at? They probably working on music right now. That's what I need to be doing. I did that a little earlier though. Kind of took a break from it. Sometimes you got to do that to kind of rest your voice and, rest your mind, I guess. It be like that sometimes. It sure does. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Anybody got anything interesting to talk about? Come on here, let's talk about it. Let's do it, baby. Come on here, watch an old man rolling smokes and chilling out. Seeing what's what. It's kind of like fishing, I guess. See who bites. I remember Kush did this a lot. He played video games, though. I don't really do that. I mean, I've been a gamer, but I don't do that hardly anymore. It cuts into my creative stuff, When I ain't doing life stuff, I'm doing music stuff. Well, not there yet. I'm gonna go to 30 minutes, I think. I got one like out of the deal. I guess that's cool. I suppose. Somebody likes me. I have to go back and watch it just to test it myself. But anyway, I am just chilling. I hope y'all are having an awesome Saturday. It's beautiful out there here. I don't know if it's going to rain or not. It's been raining lately, but earlier when I went out for coffee, it was really nice. So I don't know where it is, how it is where y'all are, but here it was lovely this morning. It sure was. But yeah, hit me up in the chat so I know what's up. Here another one popped in and out. Man, y'all just come in and I ain't interested in this. It's some old dude sitting there talking shit. That's all right. That's what old dudes do sometimes. If we get enough people in here, I might start telling some stories. I might tell stories. And that didn't roll good. I need to get better. Well, so covering it up. Y'all don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, no, I'm just kind of testing this. I don't think I've ever been live on YouTube by myself. I don't think I have. So I may start doing this more often. I might try to tell stories or whatever. We do podcasts on Monday on another channel, the Swamp Music Mafia channel, and we interview artists and independent artists and list their music and stuff like that. But I just want to hang out, see who wants to chat. Apparently nobody wants to chat with old dude. But that's all right there. That's all right. Well, we're 25 minutes in. I think, like I said, I'm gonna go to 30 and uh and see what happens. I may bring y'all a story every now and then. Tell a story about something or somebody or whatever. Um, if I get enough people in here, I'm gonna tell a story when it's just me. That's weird. It'd be like talking to Scooter. He's my puppy, an old dog, really old Chihuahua named Scooter. His actual name is Cordell Scooter Walker. We named him after a Chuck Norris character, from Walker, Texas Ranger, because he's tough. But anyway, for a Chihuahua, anyway. So I don't know, working on a bunch of stuff with a bunch of cool artists, doing features and collabs and mafia stuff and Ole Skeet stuff and all that kind of stuff. um, just worked on one with a guy named Jeff, really cool guy. I don't know when it's going to come out, but it'll come out here soon, I reckon. It's a good story. It's a good, decent song. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I think we're going to do a video on it. That'd be kind of groovy. But we will see. We will see how that goes. Anyway, 27 minutes in. We hit the big 30 mark, and I'm going to call it. And that way I can go back and I can evaluate what this is and how I'm doing it and what I need to do and how to do it. The only thing is, I'm disappointed. I need some here in the chat so we can do that. So if you happen upon this video and you see me go live in the future, come in the chat and cut it up with me so I can test it. I'd really like to test it, just to see what's up with that. I on a serious note, I guess, I like to keep it light because life is serious enough. We don't need extra stuff, right? Hey, there's Misty James. Hey, Misty. I don't normally go live. I just, I'm testing it, kind of doing that thing, just hitting, seeing what's up with that. May tell stories. Here, let me make you a moderator while you're here. If I can figure out how to do that. I don't go live on my own very much. Let's see, add as moderator. There we go. Now, I'll give you the whole shebang if I can figure out how to do it. Bam, you're one of them good moderators now, I guess. I don't know what that means, but I'm thinking about going live more often and telling stories, hanging out, that kind of thing. So I'm just sort of testing it today. It's like an old man sitting here talking to himself. Yeah, you're a super mod. You're a kingmaker, I think. I don't really know what all that means, but you do. I know you do. You've done this. I mean, you practically live here, And but anyway, I I'm not as crazy and wild as my boy Bloodhound, but I know a lot of stuff, tell a lot of stories, know a lot of folks, and sometimes I hang out. And I roll every day, and it's just boring sitting here rolling. So I figured I'd try this, and just see. I didn't announce it or anything, just wherever it pops up, But anyway, yeah, just chilling out mostly. I did a little music earlier, so I'm sort of resting my voice. I did some singing vocals and did a few rap parts to a couple songs. I got to do some more later this evening. I'm woefully behind, and that's the way it goes. But yeah, we got a show coming up in in Gainesville, Florida. Now I live in Mississippi, so for me that's a long drive, but it's worth it. Most of the time, it is. Oh, blues show. Oh, that's cool. I love blues. Blues is my jam. I really do. I love it. Um, I've known a lot of blues artists in my life too. You know, and it's just I don't know. I feel it. I've lived it in many ways. And back in '85, I oh yeah, back in '85, I was in a group called the Master Control Force with what you now know as Paw Fresh. His name was DJ Trick back then, and a few others. We were on Big Bad Wolf Records. A guy named James Wolf, Super Wolf. He was a Sugar Hill artist, but he started his own label in Jackson, Tennessee, and his wife was the co-owner. Her name was Denise LaSalle. Now, I don't know if you know who that is, but she's considered the queen of the blues. And she was now she's passed away now. Both of them are now, but she was a really sweet lady, and I got to know her a little bit. And she had an angelic voice. She was on Malaco Records, and but anyway, um, she was really the first blues artist I got to know. You know, that was established. And Johnny Taylor was another one I got to know, but I didn't know who he was at first. And so I was he came to my studio and I was talking to him like he didn't know nothing. You know what I mean? I was like, well, this does this and this does that. And I had no idea he was a blues legend, Johnny Taylor. I'm like, if I'd have known that, I'd just shut up and said, hey, please teach me what you know, sir. You know, but I didn't do it. I didn't do it. Um, but anyway, later, I later actually in the middle, he was getting ready to go the first time I met him. And I realized who he was. And I felt like a real jackass, you know, because, you know, you just don't know. It's just some random guy, you know. And, but anyway, yeah, those folks are really cool. Like comedians, a lot of blues artists have sort of a tragic upbringing a lot of times. And so they're very well rounded people. You're going to find that in a lot of music genres, including country rap. Um, you know, unfortunate and tragic beginnings sometimes, or whatever. Now, I mean, not all of them. You know how it is. You probably know enough artists to know which ones are the ones that come from that and which ones don't. You know, there's some plastic ones too, of course. But I know blues is I don't know this, but I believe blues is kind of a big deal in the UK. At least I was under the impression, you know, that it was. I guess just from watching TV and news and stuff like that, I kind of get the vibe that that's kind of a thing over there. I mean, I know European techno music is a thing all over Europe, but blues has sort of a root there. It's taken hold in some areas of the UK, not just in Britannia, but in Ireland and all that, you know, and lots of areas around. And I think that's cool. I really do. 'Cause I think a lot of people can relate to it, you know. And but anyway, so yeah, I live down here on the Mississippi Gulf Coast where Bloodhound lives, and not far from here is where Highway 61 starts, which is actually west of here. And that's the Blues Highway, from New Orleans to Memphis. It actually goes further, but that's the section that's the Blues Highway. Played in my old local bar back in the '60s. Oh man, that's cool. That is super cool. Yeah, yeah, I just love it, man. I love when they, you know, and a lot of times it's just them and a guitar or harmonica or something, you know. Sometimes they don't even have an instrument. Most time they got one of those two things, and I just love it, you know. And even young people that are starting out that's doing blues, it's worth hearing a lot of times. Now, if they're just gimmicky or something, you know, people will run them off because they know the real stuff from the bull crap, you know, from, you know, day one. But oh, oh, I would have loved to have seen that. Muddy Waters is the bomb. He's not my favorite blues artist, but he's among them. He's certainly a legend. You know, he was certainly a legend. I just Muddy Waters was awesome. My favorite blues artist, you probably don't know who it is. His name is Eddie Cleanhead Johnson, and he was really good. I just loved some of the song, the way he sang the songs. You know, yeah, BB King. My wife and I, before she passed away, we didn't get to see the whole show, but we got to see a little bit of it. He was down here at a casino, BB King. Oh, you know Eddie Cleanhead? That's so cool. Yeah, he's my favorite blues artist. You're the first person that actually knew him, I think. I mean, out in my circle. Um, yeah, I love his music. I really do. And again, he's not the like he's not as popular as somebody like Bobby Blue Bland or somebody like that. But he definitely I don't know, he speaks to me for whatever reason. I don't know if that's good or bad. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's cool. It does. I don't know what it is. I think it has to do with how we interact with the universe or something. I ain't gonna try to get all cosmic, but you know, some people, I hear music and see music in everything. And I've said this many times on podcasts and stuff. They ask me, well, what inspires you? And I'm like, God does, life does. There's music, there's harmonies, there's rhythms and everything in life. And some people in their families have that and some don't. Now that don't mean they can't enjoy music. It's just different, for some folks. And when I bump into people like that, it's really cool because they get it, and they don't always. I mean, we don't always get each other on every level, but it's kind of cool, you know. But anyway, yeah, that's super dope. You got to get to the States one of these days. Go on a tour, and you'll probably be so high by the end of it, you probably need to go to rehab. But it's it'll be really fun. It'll be really fun. Um, that is one of my. That's a bucket list item for me. Now you know who King Kush is, I guess, right? Ray Kush, I think's what he's going by now. And my good friend up there, he lives up there, and we're going one of these days we're going to record in that studio because he lives right there. There's actually two studios in Muscle Shoals. One of them's the famous one, and the other one is like, I mean, it's actually kind of famous too, just not as famous as the original. I had a friend who's also a fan. She was wearing an Ole Skeet shirt, and her husband went up there. Um, and they took a tour of that studio, and she took a picture of herself wearing an Ole Skeet shirt inside that studio. And she's kind of got a famous family. Actually, it ain't her family; it's his family. I think the Peavies, Peavy amps and all that. And I think it's their offshoot of that family somehow. I don't know. I ain't gonna dox them or anything, but I'm just saying. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's cool. That is super cool. Yeah, I wish I do incorporate it into my music. Like this last EP I put out, one, and I do a lot of fun music. You know what I mean? A lot of people take it too seriously. Now, there's some songs I do take seriously, and I treat them that way. But I like to have fun with music, and so I do happy music. My life was dark. I want to put joy and happiness in the world, and so. But I also like blues, and so I incorporate the Delta style. I mix hip hop and Delta blues and Delta styled music in a lot of my stuff. Oh wow, yeah, Marshall's. Uh, Whenever I played bass for a while. I mean, I could play. It's like that, You play one thing, you play five or six other things. Usually, I played bass for a while, and Marshall was the amp I used. But I actually had a PV amp for my guitars. Great big one. It was just junky, but I did a lot of studio playing, so I didn't really need the amps. My grandson, he plays in a church band, and I got my, what is it now? My, my niece's husband. I guess, what is he? My nephew-in-law. Is that a thing? Anyway, he plays in a doom, doom metal band called Burnt Witch. And I don't particularly like doom metal, but I really respect what they're doing because they're doing the thing. They got the drummer and the bass players and the guitarists and all the things, and they're releasing stuff, and I'm real proud of them for doing it. Um, but yeah, they got a not, and they actually do a lot of equipment setup online. You know, they show how what the rigs are like and all that kind of stuff. I wish my grandson started doing that because he's a good enthusiast. Now he plays drums too, but he plays for his church. He's like the music minister, music director, whatever the title is there, and they play every Sunday at their church and other places. He does sound in other places, and his daddy does sound. His daddy was around back when I was doing the doghouse stuff, though, back in the '90s and late '80s. That's where I got my start in a punk rock band. We did some original stuff, but most of it was just covers. And new wave was kind of a thing that was coming out back then. So we do Devo songs, and I don't know if you ever heard of Tommy Two Tone and the Clash and all that kind of stuff. We did some of that stuff too to go with it. I wore listen, the very first show, actually, it wasn't the first show I did, but the very first, uh, I guess, larger show that I did, I was wearing a corduroy suit with a solid black shirt underneath, and I had a beret, like a tam. I turned it sideways like a green beret would wear it or something. Even though it had a little thing sticking out on top, probably gay looking, but that's all right. And I didn't mean that. Well, anyway, you know what I mean. But I had a riding crop about this long. And when we played, I think we came out to Whip It. Remember that, the Devo song? And when I came out stage, I was bobbing my head like this. I can't do it now. I get vertigo. But back then, I could really do it. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun, dun-dun. When a problem comes along, you must whip it. And that we tore it up, but it was hilarious. Um, but anyway, that was yeah, that was good times. But I did that before I ever got into rap. Now I listened to rap, but I never actually did it until I did. I don't know. I got a wild hair one day. I'm like, I want to start doing this. I really like it. I'm inspired by it. Curtis Blow was the thing. Sugar Hill Gang, Curtis Blow, Houdini. They were already doing their thing, and I loved Houdini. I loved Curtis Blow's storytelling, but Houdini was really their style was starting to. Rap was real basic in the beginning, but they started adding style to it. And of course, yesterday, Rob Bass passed away. Rest in peace, Rob. DJ Easy Rock and Rob Bass. They took it to another level, and everybody after that added something to it. But that's when we got started. That's when I got started. It's when Paul got started. You know, forgive me. I don't. I'm squinting. I'm trying to read it. Oh, the Damned. Yeah. Wow, that's so weird. It's scary. I was talking to Paul Fresh. I think it was last night. Is either last night or night before? And he said we were talking about a group we were in called LSB, Light Skin Brothers, and we never released a song. We got a bunch of music that we never released, and we would have been great. We released a lot of other stuff on other things, but that was one we never did. Well, I used to hang out with them. That's pretty cool. But you said something in that I want to kind of relate to you. When we put that out, he said, "Yeah." He said, "Hey, man, that's over 35 years ago, man." And I'm like, "You think that's long?" I said, "When we were in the Master Control Force, that's over 40 years ago. 40 years ago." I'm like, "What?" I don't even. My mind can't comprehend that. I know my body, when my body talks to me, I'm like, yeah, you're old. But my mind don't feel that way. You know what I mean? It's really weird. It does. You're 100% correct. It just really starts moving. I think it's around 30 somethings when it just started kicking in, tick, 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 tick. It just goes. But yeah, it's just hard to believe that 40 years ago was the first time that I got a record. Actually, 41 was the first time we got a deal and was doing our thing as a master control force group. That's what we were called. And we thought we were special. Rode around in a green, lime green limousine. It was terrible. It's a Cadillac, though, but it's still, as the ghettoest limousine we've ever in. But of course, we was on the Kicks 96 bus and a bunch of stuff. But, every time we do a concert, fights would break out. There'd be pop bottles thrown, sometimes gunshots, but most of the time it was just fist fights. It was pretty wild back then. Yeah, I wish I had that now. It wasn't mine. It was Super Wolf's. But he used that to sort of, dazzle us with coolness, I guess. He always sort of fashioned himself as sort of a pseudo pimp, He wore the big hat and all the stuff, And he owned a radio station and a record label. Actually, later on, he ended up owning a few radio stations. One of my good friends still works there, Rashid. He was in the Master Control Force with us too, and he's the one that told me Rob died. I didn't know, and and I'm like, man, we were just talking with him a few months ago, Rob Bass, and fights Friday night fights in live music. And where's that? Sounds like every Friday night fights and like, yeah. Yeah, it's a little tamer now, except for I will say this in hip hop, it's tamer in the concerts for the most part. I mean, you're still going to get some wild ones, but when they do play for keeps, it's for keeps. It's either laid back now or it's for keeps. Poo. Back then there was a little gunplay, but it was mostly fist fighting and that kind of thing. So it's different now. It wasn't always for keeps back then. It got pretty rough, but it wasn't for keeps. But nowadays, and now we went through the gangster rap stuff, and sometimes it was if you were in like, different sets would come up on shows and stuff like that. We tried to stay away from the sets because you can't pick one because then you're in the middle of it. So we stayed away from them. I mean, we knew many of them. We hung out with a lot of them. We were cool with, I ain't gonna name none of them, but different colors. We were cool with reds and blues and all that. And but we didn't align with any of them because it just wasn't smart. Yeah. Y'all got like a stabbing epidemic too. At least a couple years ago, you did. I don't know if you still do or not. Yeah. It's just weird, man. Wasn't there some politician over there trying to ban knives or something? Gonna make eating steak kind of complicated. We got a thing over here. I just was reading about the other day. This Lone Star tick that and some there's a lot of conspiracies about it, and like some scientists made it or something. I mean, I don't know about any of it. I'm not that guy, but I do know that it's a real thing. And when it bites you, you can no longer eat red meat, beef, especially, and it's, I don't know, man, that's bad, especially if you're a country person, because you got to go out in the fields and the country and the woods and all that kind of stuff, outdoorsman, all that stuff. Man, I can't imagine not being able to eat red meat. I mean, I think you could still eat chicken and fish. I guess that's good, but I don't know. Yeah, I just saw, I think it was Newsmax or something had something out I saw. That was crazy. Oh, well, I guess I was just testing this thing out. I'm going to probably do this more often. What's a I mean, you do this. What's the best time to do this kind of thing for somebody like me? What would you guess? I'm gonna burn this one while I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I love steak. I love it raw too, just about not completely raw, but like medium rare and stuff. Ooh, I love it. But yeah, I want to start doing this more often. I'll probably tell stories or something. I got a lot of stories to tell. Some people probably think they're boring. Some people think they're cool, but if I spread it around enough, the people that would be interested in it will probably pop on and stuff like that. But I don't really know when to do it. Saturdays usually I'm working, and I have been working today, but I took a break and thought I'd do this. I don't know. I had a wild hair, I reckon. Yeah, I'm not gonna get drunk and do that or hire any of that and do that on here. I just can't do it. Yeah, that's probably right. Yeah, sure is. Well, maybe I'll try to start doing something like that. I don't know. I don't do it every day. I don't burn people out, but every once in a while I think I'll do that. Just for fun. Well, Misty, you take care of yourself. It's always good to see you. Um, I don't. Do you know about Swamp Music Mafia? Have you seen Mafia Monday? I think. Uh, yeah, you're right. You're right. Feel free and come over to Swamp Music Mafia sometime. We don't do drama or none of that stuff, but we do interview independent artists, and a lot of those interviews are pretty cool. Um, we had Leroy Biggs on last week. This coming Monday, we're going to have a guy named Brandon Hart. He's a country singer. He's really good. And then the week after that, we got Stormy Lee. Uh, all things going the way they're going. So we should got a couple good guests coming up, and we have fun with it. Of course, we also do our shows and make music and all that crap. Um, but anyway, it's good. It's really good to see you. And anyway, I guess I'm gonna sign off. And love y'all. Ain't nothing you can do about it.